Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 28th, 2024, and this is the Barca News' first watch along. And today we're going to be watching the Barcelona versus Osasuna match, or I should say the Osasuna versus Barcelona match. For the first time, I'm going to be wearing these silly headphones because otherwise you're going to hear the noise of the match. So this is why I'm wearing this. But welcome. I know a lot of you have been asking for this. A lot of you have been wanting, saying, Mo, when are you going to do a watch along? Well, here you go, guys. I'm doing the first watch along ever. I've never done this. We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, if you guys like what you're seeing, then of course we will continue to do it. Now let's do this. This is right now. There we go. This is gotta be like what's going on in the match. I don't know why SofaScore always does that crap where it just goes down too much, but let's go. Let's see this match. How excited are you guys? I see some people already in the chat section. I love it. Curtis saying he rotated heavily. Yes, he has. Let's see if my actually, I'm having problems pulling up the match on my computer. But let's see. We're going to log in. ESPN always kicks me out. I think they know I'm a Barcelona fan. And since ESPN always, they're a bunch of Barcelona haters, I think that's what's going on. It's always logging me out. But okay, here we go. We got the match on, ladies and gentlemen. Why is this not playing in my headset, though? That's the $1 million question. Let's see. Okay. All right, Ferran Torres. Looks like Ferran, we got him playing on the right. So, yeah, there's definitely heavy rotations, like Curtis said. The lineup right now is obviously Iñaki Peña on goal. We have Jules Koundé on the right. Sergi Dominguez taking the place of Íñigo Martínez. Pau Cubarsí, and then Gerard Martín taking the place of Alejandro Valde. In the mid, we have Pablo Torre, Eric Garcia, and Pedri. So Casado definitely getting some rest there. And then in the front, Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Pau Victor. So Lamine Yamal and Raphinha get much needed rest. Definitely important, I think, in my opinion. We needed these rotations. Íñigo Martínez, he has played every single match of the season, 90 minutes of every single match of the season. So it's good to see Íñigo Martínez getting rested. Of course, we do have the Champions League match on Tuesday. So I imagine that's where Pau Cubarsí is going to rest and Íñigo Martínez taking his place, because had we rested Pau Cubarsí now, played Íñigo, and then had Íñigo rest against Champions League, I don't know if that would have been a good decision, because then you would have had Pau Cubarsí and Sergi Domingos in the Champions League. So two young players. I think it's better that Flick did it this way. That way you have, Íñigo Martínez, who's a veteran, who's experienced, playing the Champions League on Tuesday, probably next to Sergi Dominguez, who, yes, is an experience, but at least you have Íñigo there who does have experience. Valde needed rest too. I'm thinking, Balde's probably, he's going to save him for the Champions League. Same thing. Balde is much more experienced than Gerard Martin, so it makes sense to rest Balde now and have him play against in the Champions League versus having Gerard Martin play in the Champions League and Balde getting rested then. So totally makes sense. Midfield, Casado, I think we saw how exhausted Casado was last match. So I see why Hansi Flick wanted to rest him. And Pedri was rested last match, so that makes sense. Pedri playing now since he rested last time. Casado played last time, so he's getting rested now. Makes total sense. Eric Garcia, Eric Garcia can probably play today. Playing today because he's not going to be able to play on Tuesday because he is suspended. Remember, he got that red card against Monaco, so he'll be suspended. So it makes sense to play him now, and then he can rest on Tuesday, not by choice, but he'll definitely be rested. And then it's good to see both Lamine and Raphinha getting rested because the two of them have played everything. So really, really nice to see that. We'll see how this works out. So far, it looks like Barcelona are in control of the match. The only thing is about Osasuna, you have to be careful because Osasuna, just from watching them how they play, they're kind of the team that likes to sit back and then count on those long passes to their forward, to Budimir. Budimir is a very capable forward or striker. He is he's very effective. So Osasuna is gonna be looking to sit back and then count on those long passes to Budimir in hopes that he can score. That's at least what they did a lot last. That's what they did last season a lot. You know, they constantly counted on that strategy. Another thing, what I've noticed in Osasuna this season is they count a lot on their wingers getting those long passes and on their wingers playing really close to their forward. So we have to be looking out for Bryan Zaragoza and Rubén Garcia because the two of them will probably be getting long passes and they usually play a lot closer to Budimir. So they're probably going to be looking to get those passes to those two guys and then those two guys, you know, passing the ball to Budimir so he can score. So Barcelona is definitely going to have to be careful with that, especially with the transitions because Osasuna are very quick with transitions. Their attackers are not necessarily the fastest. They're not like super fast attackers, but they're very fast with the transition. So Gerard Martin and Jules Koundé are going to have to be very careful with both Bryan Zaragoza and Rubén Garcia. And then Cubarsí and Sergio Domingos are going to have to keep an eye on Budimir. Another thing that's difficult about Osasuna is that they change formation a lot during the match. Here you see that they started out with a 4-3-3, but sometimes they'll switch to 4-4-2. They'll switch to 4-1-4-1. They're constantly switching the formation up. They do it in a very sleek way. So that's another thing that Barcelona will have to look out for. And Barcelona is going to have to depend on their interiors. They're going to have to depend on Pedri and Pablo Torres to kind of generate that superiority in the midfield, especially when Osasuna switch to the 4-1-4-1 formation, which is their attacking formation. That's when Pedri and Pablo Torres are going to have to generate that superiority in the midfield and, you know, trying to prevent Osasuna from doing those long passes to their wingers or their long passes to Budimir. Yeah, here we go. Coming from the side. Typical Osasuna. That was a really good slide from Pau Victor. You know what? I'm not hating the jersey, guys. It looks good. It looks worse in pictures, but it's looking good on TV. I'm still not a huge fan. I hate that they did the different shades of green. I think it looks like mold. I think if it was all the same shade of green, I think that would have looked really good. Let's see. Where is the... Okay, there we go. Let's look at these. I'm using, by the way, SofaScore, as you can see on your screen. They have a really cool stats. Oh, careful. Bryan Zaragoza, man, I'm telling you, this guy, we're going to have to keep an eye on him. He's going to be trouble all match. Of course, I think he is on loan from Bayern Munich, if I'm not mistaken. Barcelona considered signing him on one-season loan since we couldn't get anyone for the left wing. But it looks like he ended up in Osasuna. And Barcelona are going to have to be very careful. So I'm glad to see Koundé starting. I wanted Koundé to get some rest, but, you know, with Bryan Zaragoza starting for Osasuna, I think it was the right choice to have Koundé there because you're going to need someone experienced. You know, had we put Héctor Fort in the place of Koundé, I think Bryan Zaragoza would have just ran circles around him. Not to say that Héctor Fort is bad or anything, but, you know, you just need someone experienced to stop someone like Bryan Zaragoza. And I'm sure Héctor Fort will get there eventually, but right now, the safer bet would be to have Koundé. Let's see what you guys are saying, by the way, in the comments. Do you guys prefer to see it this way? Let me see. Or do you guys like it the other way? Or do you like this way better? I can also change this. I can make myself a little bigger. What? Okay, I think I like that better. Let's see. MFA Scholar says, "Hi Mo, glad you decided to." Yes, I've been getting this a lot. People like, Mo, do a watch along. And at first I was hesitating because I don't know. I didn't think people would be interested in watching me watch a game. But, so many people were asking for it. I said, let's do it. Let's give it a try. If it works out, why not, Plus, it's nice to watch that game with you guys versus watching it by myself in my boxers on the couch. Carlos says, "Hey Mo, Vizca Barça, Carlos. Thank you for your comment, my friend." Bennett Smart says, "We love you, Mo, from Zambia, Barcelona for life." All right, Africa always in the house. Let's see. So, man, I wonder if we're gonna see Ansu Fati today. Maybe he'll give him some 20, 30 minutes. I know some people were saying Ansu should have started today since both Raphinha and Lamine are rested, but I don't think Ansu Fati's there. I don't think he's ready to start. He's going to need more minutes before he can start. Now, of course, you say, well, how is he going to get minutes if he's not starting? By coming off as a sub, right? I think he's going to have to come in as a sub for a few matches, get more and more minutes, and then eventually maybe we'll see if he can start. Because when a player comes from injury, it's not, you can't just throw him in there, have him start playing a full 90 minutes. Let's see. I'm drinking horchata, by the way. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a Mexican rice drink with cinnamon. Super delicious. Man, I really wanted to see Pau Victor in Pedri. My God, look at that pass. Oof. Wow. Shook two defenders off. And then beautiful pass to Ferran Torres. A little bit too long. The goalkeeper read it well. But, man, Pedri is just a magician with the ball distribution. That's why I like to see Pedri as an interior or an attacking midfielder over seeing him in the double pivot. Not because he does a bad job as a double pivot. He doesn't. He does a good job, but it just restricts his talent, Pedri is so lethal with the ball distribution that when you put him in a double pivot, it kind of takes away from that. So I like to see him better as an interior or attacking midfielder. He's just, he's a lot more lethal. And you just saw it right now, right? He's been playing an interior. Beautiful heel pass. My God. Beautiful heel pass. By the way, Osasuna have 11 points in La Liga. 10 out of those points came here at Al Sadar. So they're a very strong team in their home stadium. They have a very strong fan base. So it's definitely going to be a challenging match for Barcelona. I'm not going to say it's going to be, extremely difficult, but it's also not going to be a walk in the park. I mean, this is a team that's very solid in the back and a team that has attackers that can transition very fast from defense to offense, and then they can cause damage. So Barcelona definitely going to have to keep the pressure up. They're going to have to find spaces through the interior corridors to break that low block, and they're going to have to be very vigilant as far as the counterattacks, whether setting up the offside trap or maybe have, Cuarci and Sergi Dominguez play a little deeper. Let's see. Jose says, Lamine with a well-deserved rest, waiting to see Ansu a bit. Oh, ooh, that was scary. Wow. See, this is what I mean. They do this play all day long. Pass to the winger, who play very close to the center forward or to the striker. And then they either take the shot or they pass it to the center forward. They do this play all day long. So Barcelona is going to have to exploit the spaces that the wingers leave behind them when they switch to attack like that. So this is where Kunde is going to have to be key. You know, when Osasuna switch to offense and they try to use Bryan Zaragoza, he's going to leave space behind him. And that's where Kunde is going to have to be vigilant and take advantage of that space that Bryan Zaragoza is going to leave behind him. Let's see. Footy says expecting a 3-1 or 3-0 victory to us. I don't know if it's going to be that easy. I hope it is, but I'm thinking maybe a 1-2. Osasuna scores 1 goal and we do 2. Maybe even 0-1. I don't know if this is going to be one of those matches where Barcelona just go crazy. But hopefully it is. You know? Hopefully we can get a comfortable win out of this. Frank says, go Mo, I have the game on my 70-inch TV and you on my 55-inch. All right, that's what's up, man. That's pretty awesome. I feel pretty weird right now because I'm watching the game on my laptop. And I'm used to watching it on TV. So it feels a little strange, but I mean, it's still a screen. I can still see it. It's not a problem. So I get to watch the game with you guys, you amazing people. Curtis says, Osasuna with a back 5. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, you also can't blame them, right? These small teams, they have so very small little resources. And they have to do with what they have, right? They can't be going toe-to-toe with someone like Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona's toilet paper budget is probably bigger than the entire budget of Osasuna. So they have to they got to work with what they have. And this is a true team that's working with what they have. Not like when Xavi used to get on press conferences and be like, oh, this is what we got. I got to work with what we got. Seriously? You got to work with what you got? You got Araujo, Christensen, Iñigo, Ter Stegen, Balde, Cancelo, Pedri, Gabi. Oof, goal. Oh, my God. Wow. Yeah, I knew they would score at least a goal. Osasuna is just lethal like that. They're very good at converting. Yeah. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. I said, you gotta watch out for Budimir. Look, pass to Zaragoza. Kunde waits forever. Should have pressured more. And then I don't know what Kunde was waiting for. And then the whole defense is just standing there and they just fall asleep. I don't know if they thought because Budimir was there by himself in between 4 defenders, he wasn't going to do anything. But if you get the ball to Budimir, he will score. And Bryan Zaragoza, you cannot give him that space like that. You have to put pressure on him. I don't know why Kunde just hesitated. "45 says trying to make us not score." Yeah. Jose Fernandez says, hey, Mo, do you think Torres is adapting to his position well? I'm thinking you're talking about Pablo Torre, not Ferran Torres. He did better in the match against he did better against Getafe than he did against Villarreal, even though against Villarreal he obviously scored and assisted. But, you know, he still has some work to do as far as recovering the ball and pressuring. As far as him attacking, you know, he's always been a really good player that attacks well, that combines well with his teammates. Just needs to work more on tracking back. Adrian says, hi, Mo, watching live from Zambia. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your comment and for watching. It says, Mo is better pundit than the clowns at ESPN. Thank you, my friend. But to be fair, though, it's not that difficult to be better pundits than ESPN because, like you said, they are clowns. Jose says, I agree about the jersey, not liking it, but not hating it either. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but I'm not a big fan. I wish it was all the same shade of green versus this different spots where sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker. It's like it looks just like a molded piece of cheese, of white cheese. My man Hart says, Mo, I want to hear you shout out goal, 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 goal later. Okay. When Barcelona scores, I'll promise I'll scream that. Jose says, Kunde is the anchor of the D-line, the most experienced one. Right now, yes, but usually it's Iñigo. Man, look at that. Everybody just falls asleep and well, there's still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Chendu says the rotation is obvious from the plane. Yeah, big time. I think we're not being as lethal in the attack as we are. And of course, makes sense. We don't have Lamine. We don't have Raphinha. And, you know, with Ferran, he's not really the kind of player that can dribble past defenders or cut through defenders. He's more of a player that can run to the space, to the empty space, but attack the space well, but not really a defender that can, or I'm sorry, an attacker that can create danger with the ball at his feet. And you know, with Pau Victor is good at reading the low block defenses because in third division, that's how all teams play. And he was really well doing that. But, you know, this is first division, so it's going to take him some time. Klaus says, hi, everyone. What's up, Klaus? Good to see you in the chat section. Man. Carlos says, Pedro as a captain is looking sharp. If Ferran could have just scored from that beautiful dribble and pass. Yeah, that was a really beautiful dribble and pass, but the goalie read it really well. Osasuna's goalie read it really well. Bryan says, I'm not sure what people see in Ferran. I scream at the TV every time I see him play. It's like I've said before, he's not a horrible player. He's just not a Barca level player, you know? I think Barcelona made a huge mistake spending 58 million on him. But I don't know what they were thinking. Let's see. Curtis says, Mo, in this double pivot, Pedri is allowed to push up and only drops deep when we have to build up from deep. True. Well, right now they're not really playing a double pivot because they're playing a 4-3-3. So it's like Eric is playing as a defensive pivot and Pedri and Paulo Torre are playing more like interiors. 45 says Osasuna almost scored. Dang. Will definitely be a tougher game than I thought. Yeah, no, Osasuna is a tough opponent in their stadium. This is not a walk in the park. Juan says Peña had that covered. Jose says, I think all or the majority of Barca's goals will come in the second half. I'm thinking if it stays the same way it's going right now, where Barcelona are not really being dangerous whatsoever, I think Flick is going to have to make adjustments, and we might see Lamine and Raphinha hop back on the field. And if that happens, I think that's when we're going to see a lot of the damage being done, because not only are they better than the current players on the field, Lamine and Raphinha, but also by then, Osasuna players will be more tired, because it's very tiring to hold a low block defense and transition on counter attacks. So Osasuna will be more tired. We'll get more dangerous players on the field like Lamine. And I think that's when Barcelona will be able to do some damage. Obviously, assuming that nothing changes, because right now Barcelona are just not being dangerous. But that could change. I don't know. Problem is Lewandowski's playing way too deep, man. He needs to be where he's best at, which is the box. But I think that has to do with the fact that no one can get him the ball right now. Right? Pablo Torres is really good at spinning with the ball, which is not an easy thing to do in football. You know, anyone who's played football knows it's very hard to spin. Oof, beautiful pass. Look at Lewandowski making those passes. Milijan says, this was coming, to be honest, we did almost nothing. Curtis says they scored. Iterino says, hey, Mo, I think your stream is not synced up to the time on your screen. What do you mean? Do you mean like the match that I'm watching is not synced up? Because I'm just streaming ESPN. I don't know. Let's see. Says, would you like to see Alexander Isaac as our future 9? I wouldn't mind having him, but I wouldn't necessarily want him. Pina says, the Flickinator will cook second half. Amen, my friend. Terrible pass by Lewy. That's the thing, too. When you rotate, it's just... Sometimes it can... Oh, Peña, what did you do, bro? Horrible pass. Michael says, Torres sucks. He does nothing. And Casper says, Barca is playing like Xavi is on touchline. I can't wait to see Lamine Yamal, Rafa, and Balde. Chinedu says, these players are not good enough. Bring in Iñigo, Lamine, Balde, Casado, and Raphinha. Well, we got to give them rest. You know, we cannot just keep playing the same players every single match. That's how injuries set in, and then you're without those players for 3-4 weeks, right? I'd rather not have those players for one match than not have those players for a month, right? But I see the subs coming in at the 60th minute. Just it's crazy, man. When Ferran is on the field, it's just like one less player. The crazy thing is that we had a match. When did we play against Getafe? Was that Wednesday? That was Wednesday, right? And then we play again today on Saturday. Meanwhile, Madrid plays on Tuesday. They played on Tuesday, one day before us. And they're not playing until tomorrow, one day after us. So they get 2 days of extra rest. Jesus. Wow. Bryan Zaragoza is just running game on us, man. Yeah. That was a great dribble, by the way, passing Iñaki. Ball lost by Pau Victor. Yeah, that's how they play. Deep passes to the wingers, who always play really close. That was a great dribble, by the way. Yeah, Flick is gonna have to do. He's gonna have to just do adjustments pretty soon. This game is getting out of hand because right now Barcelona is just not doing anything offensively, and then we're getting killed on those deep passes. You know, that's what I was talking about too at the beginning of the stream, right? I said that's just how Osasuna play. They sit deep and then they really count on those deep passes to either Budimir or to their wingers. And their wingers are lethal because they play more as interiors than they do as wingers. They're not that far out on the field. They come through the middle a lot. And they like to play very close to their center forward. And that's how both goals have come through, right? Pass to the winger, Bryan Zaragoza, who centers it to Budimir. Goal. Another pass to Bryan Zaragoza, but this time he's the one who scores. Look at Budimir. He's just like sitting just deep. Man. But he says, hell no. What? Oh, careful. What is this? How can they score like this? Because they can, man. Osasuna are very dangerous in their field. You know, we need to stop underestimating our opponents. This is first division football, you know. This is not Barcelona versus the neighborhood team. Zed says another goal. Mark, unfortunately, you have to give him credit for that. Absolutely. That was like Bryan Zaragoza. Great dribble by him. Gogi says Peña is a goal. That wasn't really Peña's fault. I mean, he was left exposed face to face with Bryan. There's not much he can do. Zed says, I don't like the rotation on the back. Unfortunately, it's needed, my friend. We're playing a match every 2-3 days. But he says they need to be more aware of the open space, like that could have been prevented. I think that ball loss did not help right in the middle. Also says Flick is being arrogant. He thinks he can win with any lineup. You can't start Pau Victor and Ferran Torres. He's not being arrogant, my friend. He needs to rotate. What do you expect him to do? To play the same players 90 minutes of every match? And then what? What happens when, God forbid, Lamine Yamal tears an ACL because he played every minute? Then what? Then you're going to be blaming Flick for not rotating him. Jose says, oof, 2 within 30 minutes. I am worried. There's still time. I don't think 2-0 is an impossible score to get back from. I mean, it's definitely not going to be easy, but I don't think it's impossible. Nice, good read by KRC. Kamal says, bro, what is Ferran doing? I have no idea, but I always wonder the same thing. Kamal says almost 3 goals. Yeah, that was really close. Basila says it would be better to rest some players last match and some in this match. Resting so many players in the same game was always going to be risky. DPK says knew it the moment the lineup came out. And Biterina says, hey, Mo, how do you rate Mitoma from Brighton for our left wing? I thought it was a good option, honestly, because he was considered in the summer. But obviously the goal was always Nico Williams, who then decided not to come. Well, I would remind Mitoma. I think he would be a good option. Oof. Great slide. Even though it was offsides, it was a great slide. Frank says Hansi has to rotate. This bench has no choice but to step up and learn under stress. This first half is not looking good, but I stay faithful that Flick will adjust. Exactly. I mean, people, here's the thing. If Flick doesn't rotate, people are complaining. Why isn't Flick rotating? The moment Flick rotates, why is Flick rotating? Rotations are necessary. Let's stop blaming it on the rotation. We have a team that should be capable of winning matches even when they're rotating. It's not a rotation. You know, they cannot be blaming it on rotation or asking that Flick shouldn't rotate. That's just silly. We're playing a match every 2-3 days. We have to rotate. What else do you expect? Iñigo Martinez has played every single match this season. Of course he needs to be rotated. Lamine has played every single match. He's 17 years old. He needs to be rotated. Problem is, that's how Osasuna are. Osasuna are very, very strong at El Sadar. So Barcelona's Flick is going to have to find solutions on how to unlock that low block and how to be better defending those quick transitions. There's nothing about it. Let's see. SB says super heavy rotation. That is not good. Osamu says, hi Mo, hoping to see Anso. I'm still rooting for him. Want to see him fulfilling his potential. We'll see. We'll see. I think it'll all depend how the match progresses. We'll see. Maybe we'll see him today. I mean, I would have Ansu play on the left and Pau Victor play on the right and take out Ferran. But I mean, Ansu's not there yet where he can start a match. He still needs more minutes. He's only played a few minutes against Monaco, and that's it. And you can't start a player that just came back from injury. Har says Ferran is awful, both offensive and defensively. It hurts my eyes. Yeah, I feel you, my friend. Because Ferran is not really a winger, too. That's another thing. Not only is he not great, but that's not really his strong position anyways. He's more of a second striker, false nine. But no, I agree with you. With Ferran playing, the game turns into 12v10. That says, Flick, what are you waiting for until 4-0? What do you mean? What do you expect Flick to do? To do substitutions at the 30th minute? That makes zero sense. Then it's like you never rotated. So then what? You're back to square one with your players exhausted and then getting injured because they weren't rotated. And then it's like the same people complaining about the rotations will be complaining about Flick not rotating because the players got injured. Jamie says, I wonder what is Ferran doing? I think we all are. We are all wondering the same thing. Arif says, Ansu Fati in place of Ferran. Ansu plays on the left, so if he comes in for Ferran, Pau Victor would have to switch to the right. Kogi says, we look clueless, to be honest, no tactic whatsoever. It's just look how deep Osasuna are playing. They have a line of 4 behind a line of 3. And they have their wingers tracking back. They're pretty much defending with the whole team. Look, even Budimir is sitting like in the final third of the field. Oof. Great pass by Kunde. The hell is that? This guy is playing WWE. Let's see. Arif says maybe Pau should not play as a winger. But it's not really his natural position. You know, Pau Victor is more of he's a center forward, right? He can play in an attacking midfield position, like behind a center forward, but definitely not as a winger. No, Pau Victor is not a winger. Steve says, Ferran don't know how to play football. He knows only passing. He's there just for number. Get him out of my club. DPK says, we offer nothing on offense. Our defense will suffer a full match. Yeah, right now, offensively, we're just not being able to break through the low block. It's just this like lack of understanding right now between the players. And it makes sense because, you know, these players are not used to playing with each other, right? Pau Victor doesn't play that much. Ferran doesn't play that much. Torres just started playing. Oof. Terrible control by Ferran. And look at Eric. Ooh. That might be a yellow. I'm liking what I'm seeing by... That should have been a yellow, by the way. He didn't even go for the ball. Just look. He goes with the left foot with the ball, and then he kicks him with the right one when Eric has already passed him, stopping an attack. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Eric Garcia, by the way. He looks a lot more confident, driving the ball forward. You know, he looked very nervous the match against Monaco. He looked nervous in the match against, was it Villarreal in the first half? Then he looked a lot more comfortable in the match against Getafe, and now I see him also comfortable. So it looks like he's growing. The position is growing on him because, you know, remember, it's his new position for Eddie. He's always been a center back his whole life. And then we throw him in that position, but it looks like he's looking more comfortable. All right, let's see what else. Arif says Sergi Dominguez is not that good. I disagree. I think Sergi Dominguez is a very, very promising center back. Viterino says, I don't think Flick will bring Ansu with us being down 2 goals. I mean, I guess it will depend on how the match goes. Still have the entire second half. Mark says Kunde as a winger better than Ferran. I mean, to be fair, at this point, I think I'm better winger than Ferran, and I don't even play. DPK says rotation means rotate players in either defense or offense, not play with Barca Athletic. Well, what other options do you want? I mean, who do you think Flick can bring in to rotate if all we have is Barca Athletic players? What, do you want Frankie to play? He's injured. Do you want Gabi to play? He's injured. Do you want Olmo to play? He's injured. Do you want Araujo to play? He's injured. Do you want Christensen to play? He's injured. Do you want Fermin to play? He's injured. Like, what do you expect? We don't have first team players available. Alice says, watch along. What a brilliant idea. Thank you, my friend. A lot of people have been asking for it, so I decided, why not? Let's give it a try. I think it was long overdue. Man, it's just... This Barcelona just do not know how to unlock this slow block right now. You know, without players like Lamine who can dribble past defenders and unlock those low blocks, is just... And this is why we needed Nico Williams, by the way. That's what happens when you only have Lamine who can cut through low block defenses with his dribbling. The moment you need to rest him, the moment he gets injured, God forbid, or the moment he gets suspended, it's like, what do you do? And this is why we needed Nico Williams. Because Nico Williams is another Lamine, but on the left. Obviously not as good as Lamine, because Lamine is just one of a kind. But we definitely needed him. Nice pass by Kunde. Ferran, what the hell are you doing? There you go. All right, Lewy. Just, you know, Lewandowski's not that kind of a center forward. Nice. Good pass by Pedri to Gerard Martin. Oof. Horrible. Horrible cross. All right, Kunde. Ooh, Kunde with the nutmeg. Wow. A little bit too long, but that was a great nutmeg by Kunde. SB says they didn't even check that Pau Victor got stepped on before the goal. Yeah, that looked a little bit questionable. I'm not saying it was a foul for sure, but it was definitely worth looking at because it looked like they got the ball from him through foul. Curtis says Ferran Torres is literally a waste of time. We really need to run this man out of the club. You know, Barcelona has been trying to offload Ferran for 2 seasons now, not just this past summer, but even summer of 2023. But unfortunately, he keeps saying he's not leaving, and there's not much Barcelona could do. You know, it costs us so much money that there's nobody that wants to buy him for that price, right? And if you sell him at a loss, it just affects your financial fair play negatively. And we can't even sell him at a loss because nobody wants to buy him. That's another problem. McBarson says Flick is getting ahead of himself. His rotation is scaring me, especially in the back. And what the fuck is Ferran and Loa and Ferran don't go together? Yeah, no, Lewy's just... Ferran is just... can't get the ball to Lewy, so Lewy's getting frustrated and tracking back to the midfield, which is in the midfield. Ferran is Lewy is pretty much useless. Damn. Careful. Wow. Dude, they're just running circles around our defense right now. That would have been one hell of a goal, by the way, had he caught it a little better. Okay, offside. Alice says, I love the fact that even though we 2 goals behind, we don't look defeated. Yeah, the team is still trying. The problem is nothing is working. We just cannot seem to find the answer on how to get through Osasuna's defense. We just are not finding those fast transitions. We're moving the ball incredibly slowly. Paulo says, Ferran is like a baby. You have to put them in front of their food to eat. You have to put Ferran in front of goal to score. I mean, I guess, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Tomas says, we need someone who can score free kicks. I think Pablo Torres can take good free kicks, if I'm not mistaken. He used to take them at Racing. Okay, another corner kick. DPK says, Pablo Torres still suck in Xavi's Barca. Always goes back for passes, not progressive. I'm glad to see Pedri looking a lot stronger with this new staff. Yeah, Pedri's looking great, physically speaking, by the way. Oof. Nelvis says, I trust Barca second half. We are winning the match. Hopefully, my friend. Mark says, would you still want to sign Nico next summer, or has the train passed? If Nico wants to come, I wouldn't mind having him. We need someone else on the left. We can't just have Lamine playing as a winger. You know, you can't. If you want to aspire to win everything, you can't just have one winger. You know, we need another one on the left. Ooh, wow. Gogi says, now we see how crucial is Lamine for us. We need another winger, though. I agree 100%. Jamie says, maybe Flick should come in and play on the right side. I believe he can do better. Hey, 50, how old is he? 56, 58? I wouldn't doubt that Flick would do better than Ferran on the field. Vitorino says, Kundi Chiki with that nutmeg. Yeah, that nutmeg was nuts. Curtis says, maybe we need to just not play Torres until he gets tired and leave. Play every single Barca Athletic player over him. Maybe. I don't know what the answer is to get Ferran out of the... Yeah, he got stepped on, man. How was that How was that not reviewed? Dude, that was a beautiful, by the way. That was a beautiful dribble past Iñaki. Tapin says Flick needs to sub all the kids out. What is this? Utterly shite. Well, players need rest, guys. Stop trying to blame it on Flick for rotating. Because if he didn't rotate, you guys will be blaming him for not rotating. Vitorino says Ferran is Barca's Anthony. Yeah, but at least Ferran Torres did not cost us. What was it? 100 and something million that Anthony cost Manchester. Nalva says Osasuna was very happy when they saw this lineup playing Barca Athletic. Let's see. Arif says wingers are one of the most important players in any team. See Liverpool, see Madrid. I mean, you're not saying anything new, my friend. We know. Jose says, I believe Flick will right the ship in the second half. Ansu in, Ferran out as one more of example. I think Lamine and Raphinha might have to come in, or I don't know. I would want to see. The problem is Lamine needs to rest, so I don't know if it'd be a great idea to bring him in the halftime, even though most likely that's what's going to happen. But I would want to see Lamine on the right, Pau Victor playing behind Lewandowski, and then on the left, bring in Raphinha or Ansu. But most likely it's going to have to be Raphinha because, you know, Ansu's played like 3 minutes this whole season. That's what I would like to see, but we'll see what kind of rotations or what kind of adjustments Flick ends up making. I'll see. Paulo says Kunde and Pedri have been the best on the pitch. I agree. I also like what I've seen from Eric, by the way. Covenant says double standard again. Tapin says Lamine, Raphinha, Valde, Martinez, and Casado all in for the second half. No, that'd be a terrible idea to put all the players that need the most rest, all of them at once. Then it's like you never rotated them. And then what? What do you do in the Champions League? Do we rest them then? No, okay, then what? Then comes the FIFA international break. They're not gonna rest there either. Then what? Rest them against Bayern Munich when we come back? How about against Real Madrid? It's like, we can sit here and complain all day, but the reality is players need to be rotated. Foot says, let's be real, this has been coming. Man, you guys are so negative in these comments. My God. Chindu says, only Kunde and Pedri have been playing. The rest are just crap. Bringing Iñigo, Lamine, Raphinha, Casado, and Balde. Ricky says, Pau Victor hasn't done anything. Only good at US Tour. Vitor, who is not wanted by Barca, I guess, has already scored. Pau Victor, whom Barca hasn't done. Well, Pau Victor has played like 5 minutes this whole season. So how do you expect him to score? And by the way, Vitor Roques, yeah, he has scored a goal, but he's already injured. He's out for a full month to an ankle injury. So I'm not sure how the two can compare. Let's see. McBarca says Barca should change their jersey to all white. I hope it makes them happy. Cardiac says, what is with Barca putting this kind of lineup versus Osasuna? Oh my God, I don't think I can say the sentence again. We need to rotate players. Stop asking about the fucking lineup. We need to rotate players. I've said this like 20 times for this live stream. We need to rotate players. We have a Champions League match on Tuesday. Do you guys understand that? Do you understand that after that, there's 2 weeks of FIFA international break where the whole team will be away with their teams? And after that, we have a match against Bayern Munich. We have a match against Real Madrid. Do you guys understand that? Do you understand what rotation means? Do you understand that players need to rest? Do you understand that players are not robots? Stop asking about the fucking lineup. Let's see. Covenant says Osasuna wins the ball and steps on Pau Victor for the second goal. No foul earlier in the season. Kunde wins the ball and steps on a player. Barca scores. Foul given against Barca. I agree with you 100%. I think that should have been definitely watched on the VAR. Because at least, I'm not saying it was for sure foul. It should have been at least checked. Because he was definitely stepped on by Budimir. Zakarban says, we need Szczęsny ASAP. I don't think Szczęsny could have done much here. This is just simply Osasuna is just running circles around us right now. Sean says, do you think the new young African left back will replace Martin as Balde back up later this season? It all depends on how fast he can adapt, right? They need to first adapt to European football, adapt to Barcelona football, and then based on how fast they can adapt, then maybe. Abdul says, I'm fuming. No shot in the pool. Too many chances. Too many changes. Let's see. Fast Car Sexy says, right now it's playing almost a Barca B. Wow, we don't have anyone else. So Chris says, it is Ferran failing. Torres not a great outing so far. Sergi struggling. Yeah, I agree with that. Cardiac says rotation should not be happening against top clubs. So when should they happen? A says Barca to make a comeback. 3-2. Come on. Well, technically it'll be 2-3, but hopefully, my friend. Hopefully. Milian says the only thing I don't get is Pau Victor on the wing. He's not been performing there. No, because he's not a winger. I think he should have been played behind Lewy or rest Lewy and help Pau Victor play in his natural position. Dallas says, second half, I would like to see Ansu on the right, Raphinha by the left. We are good in the second half. I mean, that sounds good, but Ansu Fati doesn't play on the right. Tapin says, it's true. Playing with Ferran is like playing with 8 men. Mysterious World says, by looking at the lineup, we lost the game even before the game started. I disagree. Curtis says, what do you guys expect Flick to do? He has to rotate. Then we are complaining about overplaying the players. Yeah, at this point, people just want to complain about anything. If he rotates, why is he rotating? If he doesn't rotate, why is he not rotating? Petra says, you can wear the ones crying for Yamal to be arrested. The Flick has made rotation. This is what you get. Sometimes we need to shut the fuck up and let the coach do his job. I agree 100% with you. These are the same people who were crying about Lamine not being rested. Now they're crying that why is Lamine being rested? Shabam says, we will turn the tables in the second half. I believe in Flick ball. Just remove Ferran. Anyone will do. Even 10 men can do it. Yeah, I agree, my friend. I think if Ferran is just told, I'll just sit it out. Don't worry. We're not going to sub you. You just go take a break. Drink some water. Don't worry about anything. I think we'll do better. Francisco says the only thing they can do is the pressure in the middle. Right now, we're just not moving the ball fast enough. I think that's what the problem is. We are not moving the ball fast enough. We're not finding those quick passes to the backside of the defenders, and which is very difficult to do, obviously, against a low block. So in that case, what you need to do is you need to move the ball fast. Because when you have a low block defense, well, as the name suggests, as a block, right? If you have the ball on the right, the whole block moves to the right. If you move the ball to the left, the whole block moves to the left, right? And then they defend as a block, and that's what Osasuna are doing. So what you need to do is move the ball fast, where you make the block move fast, really quickly, from side to side, up and down, side to side. And in that fast movement, as you're causing the block to move so fast, someone's going to lose concentration. Someone's not going to move fast enough. And somewhere in there, as you're causing this block to move so fast, an opening is going to be created. And that's when you hit them with the deep pass through the block, and that's how you score. If you can't do that, then you need a player that can dribble past defenders to unlock the block, right? If you can't unlock the block through passing, you have to unlock it through dribbling. Unfortunately, right now on the field, we have nobody that can do that. The only player who can do that is Lamine, and he's being rested. So that's the problem. We're just not moving the ball fast enough. So Osasuna are just sitting back, chilling, and we're just passing the ball slowly from side to side without any results. And then Osasuna, like I said at the beginning of the stream, they know how to take advantage of the opportunities they get. They get very few opportunities because they always sit back and then they count on counterattacks. But when they do get those opportunities, they know how to take advantage of them. They are very effective in that sense. And that's exactly what they've done. They've had like 3 or 4 chances, and they've scored 2 of them. I see. Miname, she says, is Hector 4 better option than Martin? Well, Hector 4 is a right back. So a left back playing in the left is always going to be a better option than a right back playing in the left. Subrealism TV says, pisotones al Barça, sí, pisotones del Barça, no, criterio arbitral, pésimo. I agree with you. There is no criteria for these refs. They just, the same exact foul is considered a foul against one team, and then the same exact foul is not considered a foul against another team. There is no criteria. The same exact action can be ruled 10 different ways. It's just, that's refereeing in Spain. It's just an absolute disaster. It's mediocrity at its best. And like I've said many times before, there needs to be a total overhaul of Spanish refereeing. Mr. Sang says, I'm wondering if Tony would do better than Ferran, or we are trailing. That's a good question. I don't know, because we haven't seen Tony play with the first team, right? I don't know. But you also cannot put the responsibility of a comeback on the shoulders of a 16-year-old that's never played in first division. Cardiac says rotation should be balanced. Why start Lamine against a club in 19th, but not against a club in 8th? Because Getafe, they play with a very, very, very low block, a much lower block than Osasuna. So you need a player like Lamine more against Getafe than you do need against Osasuna. That's one. Second, Tuesday we have a Champions League match. I know how many times I got to say that. So had we rested Lamine against Getafe, played him today, Lamine would have arrived at the Champions League match exhausted, because today he would have played full 90 minutes, and in 2 days he would have had to play the Champions League match. So that's why. Juan says, I don't get what these so-called Barca fans want. Flink is limited to what players he has. All he can do is instruct them and train them. Plus we have to rest players. We can't rest them. People always want a scapegoat, so they always want to find a reason. Mark says, I'm glad y'all seeing that some of those players aren't good and being carried. I agree. Lighting says, people complain when Lamine doesn't get rest. Now when he gets rest, they're still complaining. You shouldn't blame Flick. He doesn't have many options. Yeah, people just like to complain, my friend. SB says, guys, look at the foul on Pau Victor before the second goal. It's an absolute ridiculous. It should have been a yellow card and no goal. Now, welcome to the Spanish League, my friend. Marco says, the Sardine has the football IQ of an 80-year-old male. Cardiac Globe says, players are playing 90 despite the team being up by 5 goals. This is poor management of fitness. I don't agree at all. So Brelism says, the Spanish League pertains to Florentino Perez. Yes, it does. Chris says, second goal, 100% of clear foul. I think I agree. Let's look at the numbers, by the way, real quick before the match resumes. So Barcelona with a 72% ball possession, which honestly is not really anything to rave about because it's not good possession. This is just possession for the sake of possession, which, doesn't mean anything. Expected goals for Osasuna, 1.14, and they scored 2, and Barcelona 0.05. I don't know who invented this expected goals statistic. That guy should be forever fired because expected goals is probably the dumbest statistic I've ever come across. And that's something that Xabi used to use a lot last season. Well, we had the most expected goals, so that means we deserve to win. It's like, dude, I don't care if you have 1 million expected goals. If you don't score a single one of them, what the fuck does that stat even mean? Hey, I expect to be a billionaire. Yeah, but I'm not. So what? Does that mean I can go into a Ferrari dealership and be like, hey, guys, I expect to be a billionaire, so give me a Ferrari. But you don't have money. Yeah, but I expect to have money, so that's okay. It's like, what the fuck is this statistic? And I see people, by the way, using it all the time in the comment section. Well, the expected goal. Dude, the fuck does that even mean? Expected goals. Look, Osasuna have a 1 expected goal and they have 2. Who gives a shit? It's not about how many expected goals you get. You don't win by how many expected goals. You win by how many goals you have. Big chances, Osasuna 2. They scored 2. Total shots, Osasuna 6. So that's a 33% conversion rate. To Barcelona's 2 shots with 0. Goalkeeper saves, Osasuna have 2. Iñaki 0. Corner kicks, 3-2 in favor of Barcelona. Osasuna 5 fouls, Barcelona 1. Passes, 336. Wow, triple the passes of Osasuna. But again, these are not dangerous passes. These are not purposeful passes. So it's just that number on its own just doesn't mean anything. 11 tackles to Barcelona's 11 tackle to Osasuna's 9, and then 5 free kicks for Barcelona and Osasuna 1. Very interesting. Then, oh, this is kind of cool. So most of the passes have been in the midfield, which, of course, that's where Barcelona have been stuck, unable to get through Osasuna's defense, and that's also where Osasuna's attacks have been coming from. All in the midfield. Accurate passes, 287 for Barcelona, 86 to Osasuna. Throw-ins, final third entries. This is really cool, by the way. They have like stats for everything. Even how many farts each player had in the middle of the game. Let's see. Let's look at Pau Coarsi. 1 out of 1 duels, ground duels 1. 2 out of 4 duels 1, aerial duels 1. Lost possession 5 times, 60 touches, 91% accurate passes. This is really cool, by the way. SofaScore has really cool stuff. All right, let's get back to the match. So no substitutions yet, or at least doesn't look like it. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes it takes me a few minutes to get used to like the team switching around. Like sometimes like Barcelona will switch to the other side after halftime, and then I'll see them playing next to their goal, and I'll be like, "Yeah, go on, Barcelona score!" And it's like, "Oh wait, they're in their own team, they're in their own box. They're not in the opposing team's box." I don't know why. I've been watching football for like I think 20 years now, and it always takes me a few minutes to get adjusted to the team playing on the other side. It's the dumbest thing ever. Let's see. Shubham says, we need to sign Bryan Zaragoza next transfer window and bench him. He scores beautiful goal every time he is against us. Barcelona tried to sign him, and everybody was like, Bryan Zaragoza is a bum. Bryan Zaragoza is this. Bryan Zaragoza is that. I remember. I don't forget, guys. Mark says it's more than just moving the ball fast. Giving the ball fast to Ferran changes nothing. Ferran can still score. I mean, I know we're all bagging on him, but remember, Ferran had the same amount of goals as Raphinha last season. Don't forget that. Vitorino says, guys, we can't expect Flick to get it right every time. I trust Flick, learn, and adapt. Exactly. I agree 100%. Covenant says the scoreline will be turned around. I like the game anyways. The team's mentality hasn't changed. The players are still focused. I don't mind losing, honestly. I mean, look, a defeat was about to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen today or sometime, but you cannot win every single match, and you cannot thrash every single team you play against. I think people need to be a little bit more realistic and not think that every match they're going to watch, Barcelona is just going to destroy the team 5-6-0. Some matches you're barely going to win. Some matches you're going to draw. Some matches you're going to lose. It's part of the sport. Damn, that guy got effed up. Juan Carlos. He like flew in the air. Oh, he landed on his shoulder bad. Yeah, he fell with the arm extended. And that always affects your shoulder. I've had those falls. They are not fun. Credit says, one problem we have is that Pau Torres, is it Pau Victor or Pablo Torres? Torre is not playing close to Lewy. Like in the preseason games, he's playing like a traditional winger, which means we are outnumbered in the center. Yeah, Pau Victor is better playing behind Lewy than he is as a winger. Mbappe says Barca should be doing way better this match. OTGZ says Ansu for Ferran in the second half. If Ansu comes in for Ferran is playing on the right. Ansu plays on the left. So if that happens, Pau Victor would have to switch over to the right. So it wouldn't be a man for a man per se. Let's Cook says they'd rather have a vacuum in the starting lineup than Ferran any day. Let's see. Rio Diao says there's literally no movement in the center. Nobody's getting close to one another to combine to create chances in the center. And Sean says move Pau to the right and put Fati at the left. Get Ferran out. Mr. Sang says it seemed like Lamine is coming in. He is being instructed. Yeah, he was also warming up. So I think Lamine is going to end up coming probably around the 60th minute so he can get some rest and only play 30 as opposed to, more, especially with the Champions League match right around the corner. Come on, dude. What is that? My God. Just look how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2. So Osasuna are running a line of 5, a line of 3, and then a line of 2. A 5-3-2 when they defend. Even their wingers look where Bryan is. Yeah, it's just the ball movement is way too slow. And the team is not being as vertical as they should be. Oh, that should be a yellow. A foul from the back? Come on. A foul from the back is always a yellow. How is that not a yellow? Cardiac says, what do you think about squad depth? I understand Flick has a few options. This is due to injuries. We just the unluckiest club. Yeah, I mean, squad depth is heavily being influenced by injuries. Every single player that's injured is a starter, except maybe Fermin, right? Frankie, Gavi, Araujo, Christensen, Ter Stegen, Bernal, Olmo. 7 players. They're all starters. And then there's Fermin, who's not always a starter, but wow, Lewy. I didn't know Lewy could put a Could put a curve like this on the ball. That was close. But yeah, I mean, we have 7 starters who are injured. So, of course, we're going to have to depend on reserve team, you know. Jose says, Mo, like the venue, great work, got interrupted. We'll catch you next time. All right, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. DPK says, Ferran always prays for his mentality. Anybody have any idea what that mentality is? I'm wondering the same thing, my friend. Arif says, it's 1:30 a.m. in here, and I have to work tomorrow morning and here for Ansu to play. I hope you can get some rest, my friend. Mark says, wait. No changes? No, it's too early for changes. If you change the players in the halftime, it's like, what rest are they really getting? Oh, Kunde. Come on, Lewy. Lewy. Dude, Lewy went for that soft touch like we're up 5-0. Should have blasted it into the left corner instead of trying to give that soft touch in the right corner. Man. That's what says. I think we better off with 10 men, have Ferran on the pitch. Boo. Okay, we started out good. See, it's sometimes halftimes are also good, not just because to bring in players. Oh, you can. Oh, let's go! Harwemo, you wanted me to say goal. Here we go. That's what I'm fucking talking about. You don't have to switch players to have a change in tactics. You can still change the tactics with the players that you have by instructing them how to position themselves, by instructing them what kind of runs to make, how to react when certain players have the ball. And that's exactly what's going on because Barcelona started out strong. Look at that steal. Beautiful steal. Pau Victor all the way. Wow. Great steal from Gerard Martin. Pau Victor sees the goalie outside of his box and nice. Let's fucking go! Sorry if I'm screaming in you guys' ears. Hopefully you have your volume down, but come on, 2-1. See, it's still salvageable, right? That's how you say it. Yeah, it's still salvageable, guys. You know, stop crying in the comment section, talking about flick out and sell all the players and close the club and demolish this Camp Nou. See, I wasn't too worried because if there's one thing we've learned this season is that Flick knows how to make adjustments during halftime. And it's not necessarily just adjustments with substitutions. You know, you don't have to sub players to change your tactics. You can just tell the players what to do and how to do it differently. All right, let's see. Francisco says Flick probably knows what to do. Ferran out, move Vic to the right, and add Ansu to the left, and tell the winger to stay wide so Pedri and Torres can do their stuff in the middle. Oof. Wow. That's a scary cross. Kunal says, first time I made it into the live. Let's go, Mo. Let's go, Barca. And thank you for joining the live for the first time. Let's see. What else? Willie says, hey, Mo, don't you think Pedri should be better than he is now after several seasons in Barca? I don't know what the complaint is against Pedri. He's been one of our best midfielders this season. Mark says, all played so much better. Yeah, Barcelona have come out a lot stronger. They're being a lot more effective with their ball possession. Come on. Ooh. Man, that was a big mistake by the Osasuna defense. Wow. This is a great start to the second half. Barcelona are coming out swinging. And look at Osasuna. Now they have a line of 6. Jesus. I mean, they're not even parking the bus. They are parking the bus, setting it on fire, and putting explosives all around it like landmines. Mauricio says, what a huge mistake from the goalie. Yeah, he came out too far. And I mean, it was also a smart move by Pau Victor, who noticed that the goalie was out of position and went for the shot. Paul Diaz says Kunde is better than Ferran. Kunde has been lethal as a right back more than Ferran has been as a winger. But to be fair, Ferran is not a winger. But yes, Kunde has been 100 times better than him. I mean, at this point, I think the ball boys are even better than Ferran. Francisco says pressure from the top. Good shit. Yes, absolutely. That was a great read by Gerard Martin, by the way, also. We're not giving Gerard Martin his due diligence, but that was a great read. Yeah, there comes Lamine and Raphinha. Gerard Martin, that was a great read by him, seeing that, reading the pass, intercepting it, and then Pau Victor noticing the goalkeeper out of position and then going for the shot. Now, we got a little bit lucky that as the goalkeeper was heading back, slipped, but still, though. Lewy with the dribble. Ooh, beautiful pass. That was a great pass from Gerard Martin to Ferran, but, you know, passing the ball to Ferran, you know, might as well just kick the ball to the stands. Look, he gets up all cocky, and then like 5 seconds later, this happens to him. That's why you should never be acting all cocky when you're in a match until the match is fully over. A dude blocks Lewandowski's shot, gets up all cocky. 5 seconds later, makes that blunder. And now you just look stupid. Mauricio says, how are the Spanish commentators? By the way, I'm watching in English this time to see if they are less of a joke. I'm actually not listening to them. I have some volume on my laptop, but I'm not really listening to what they're saying because they have Mario Kempes on, and Mario Kempes is just a fucking idiot. SB says, perfect goal timing that is going to open the game, and we have a really good spot at it. Yeah, and now Lamine and Raphinha are coming in. Wait, who came out? I didn't even pay attention. I'm guessing Pau Ferran. And did Pau Victor also come out? Let me see. Who came out? Who came out? Let me refresh this. And Sofa Score is behind. Oh, yeah. Pau Victor. Ooh. Wait, did Ferran not come? No, that's impossible. Ferran came out, right, guys? Or is Ferran still on? Oh, you tripped by yourself. Stop it. Oh, it's Pablo Torre that came out. I mean, Pablo Torre was not having a good match, but to keep Ferran. That's definitely ballsy. Wait, so is Raphinha playing behind Lewandowski? I want to see how they're lining up right now. Because I would rather have Raphinha on the left, to be honest, and have maybe Ferran playing behind Lewy, because Ferran is technically that is his position, right? I mean, he still sucks, but at least it's better to have a player that sucks in his natural position than a player that sucks in an unnatural position. That was a good run by Ferran. Who's getting a yellow? I'm thinking the Osasuna player, because who was it? Oh, Ibanez got a yellow. Finally, man. I thought the referee had left his yellow cards at home. Danica says, shaking my head, so biased. How is Ferran still playing? Because Ferran, even though he was having a crappy game, he was actually having a better game than Pablo Torre. That should be a yellow. I'm sorry, but that dive was so obvious. Not the gamer says, why is Ferran still playing? It's like we're playing with 100-pound ankle weights. Please actually injure my ankle in American football practice. I think Ferran, they put him behind Lewy, which is his natural position. If that's the case, I expect a little better out of him. Not saying that he's about to go score a hat trick, but that's why. And by the way, are we still on that silly argument that somehow they're biased because Ferran is Spanish? Because Raphinha just came in and he's Brazilian. And Pablo Torres went out, who's Spanish, and Ferran stayed, who's also Spanish. And Lamine came in, who's also Spanish, but also Raphinha. So it's like, I thought we had moved on that silly argument that Barcelona are biased because they have Spanish players. It's like, wow, who would have thought that a Spanish team playing in Spain would have Spanish players? Wow, that was a really close one. That was a dive, dude. Your leg went all the way back. Nice. Great positioning by, I think it was Eric that runs immediately to the line. But it just says, man, Osasuna really won a penalty. Yeah, that was 2 dives. The first one by the left side of the box was like so obvious. Like the guy was like, like a sniper took him out or something. It's like, dude, I mean, if you want a penalty, that's fine, but act a little better. Now this says, Mo, I told you second half we are winning. I love my club. Oh, calm down. We're still not there yet. We've only scored 1 goal. We still need 2 more to win. Mark says, is Flick trying to lose? Oh, lose. Lose is 1-0, my friend. Loose is 2 O's. Loose means opposite of tight. Not the gamer says, Osasuna always be having one good winger that carries that team. First update now, Bryan Zaragoza. I mean, that's our case right now. We only have one good winger. Let me see. Is Raphinha playing on the middle or in the right? I just can't figure out yet. I mean, right now he has the ball on the right. But Mark says Raphinha is horrible in the 10. What is Ferran and Martin still doing on the field? Well, Martin it's thanks to Martin that we got our only goal. But yeah, Raphinha is not that good in the number 10 position. He's much better on the left. Oof. Man, we're lucky he missed that pass. They're just so quick on the transition. Osasuna. Man, Osasuna have managed to take advantage of the superiority Barcelona were having in the attack. Open it up to the right. Ah. Man, that was a terrible pass by Raphinha. And see, the other Mark says, it's crazy to me how many non-Barca fans talk up Ferran. It makes it so obvious they don't watch Barca. He's horrific. I think it's... Oh, Ferran. Ooh! That was a great dribble by Ferran. Man, but I got blocked. Wow. That's the thing, though. Ferran, as much as we hate on him, he's much better coming through the middle than he is from the wings. Uh-oh. Is their goalkeeper hurt, or did he just hit his balls? At the game, it says, theoretically, if you didn't sign Ferran, who would you have signed in his place? Oh, back then, honestly, I don't even remember who was available back then. I mean, that was 2.5 years ago. A little more than 2.5 years ago. 2 years and 9 months. I mean, I wouldn't have signed them for 55 mil. That's for sure. Especially back then because we had just sold a bunch of assets. Oh, that was good play. Lewandowski's pass was a little bit too long. Boom. Let's see. But yeah, to answer your question about the game, I honestly don't remember who was. Ooh, that was like five markets ago. I don't remember who was available back then. But I wouldn't have signed him. No, not for 55 million. For sure, not for 55 million. Oof. Nice. Offsides, but that was a great run back from Kunde. Mark says Julian Alvarez was offered for way less than Ferran at the time. They banked him for Ferran. I don't remember if that was the case or not. It was just so long ago. Lautaro, there was no way to sign him back then or now because it's just too much money. That was a great nutmeg by Ferran, by the way. I wish he would have released the ball to Lewy, but that was a great play by Ferran. Let's see, Pedri to Raphinha. Yeah, I wonder if Ansu's gonna come in at all this match. Let's see. We need a second goal ASAP. ASAP. Because then we can focus on then winning the match. But Zed says Raphinha plays better as a 10 than from the wings. All the goals he has scored come from 10. No, they don't come from 10. They come from him running through the middle. It doesn't make you a 10 if you run through the middle. Because Raphinha is really good running behind defenders. So, yeah, a lot of his goals have come when he has ran through the middle behind the defenders and gotten the ball and scored. That doesn't make you a 10. Ferran Torres just ran through the middle. Doesn't mean he's a 10. A 10 is someone that becomes the heart of the attack. A 10 is the one who distributes the ball, the one who starts the plays, the one who sets the tempo for the attack. Not because you run through the middle, that means you're a 10. Mark says, to be fair, hindsight is 2020. True. All right, Lewy and Gerard Martin out. So Balde is going to go to the left. Lewy out. That's interesting. So does that mean Pau Victor is going to jump? Oh, no, wait, Pau Victor's already there. Does that mean Ferran is going to go as a false 9 or as a number 9? Oof. Man, now that Casado's on the field, we're going to be cooking in the midfield. But yeah, it looks like Ferran is dropping as a center forward. Oof. Ooh. Is that a PK? Yeah, that's a PK. Fuck. That's a PK. Damn, that was a silly tackle. Man, Osasuna is just so dangerous on that counterattacks. It's insane. I mean, the way they got away with this one. Yeah, that's a clear PK. Man. That was a silly tackle. That's a new mistake, you know. You know, Barca athletic player, first time playing the first division. Like, all right, let's hope he misses or that Iñaki blocks, because if not, I think the game is just done. I don't know if in 20 minutes Barcelona would be able to score 3 goals. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, 18 minutes is just not going to be enough to score 3 goals. Not the way Barcelona are playing, but man, yeah. That was really well put, really well kicked, by the way, by Budimir. Right in the corner. It's just impossible for the goalkeeper to get it. Yeah, well, 18 minutes left. Maybe at least we could draw it, but it's just not. I just don't see it possible. Osasuna, the way they've been defending, and you know the way that they take advantage of the few chances that they get, is just gonna be impossible. And you know, it's like I said at the beginning of the live stream, this is gonna be a very difficult match for Barcelona. I mean, Osasuna are very lethal in the counterattacks. They're very effective with the few shots that they get. And you know, 10 out of the 11 points they have come here at home at their stadium. It's a tough stadium against a very tough opponent. So I'm not surprised by the result, to be honest. But football says Barca's youngsters are overrated. It's funny that your name is football, but you know nothing about football. Imagine thinking that Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, Lamine Yamal, Gavi, Valle, Pau Cuarci. Imagine thinking that all those players are overrated. God. I'm surprised you don't forget how to breathe. Then he says, is Inigo injured or what? Why is he not playing? Inigo's being rested because Inigo has played 90 minutes of every single match. And then on Tuesday, we have a Champions League match. Francisco says, I'll let Ansu get some playing time if we're going to lose. Yeah, I think so. I think if it's already 3-1, I think might as well bring Ansu. We still have 1 substitution left because we brought in 4 players. So I think we should bring in Ansu. Not the gamer says, what kind of 4-3-3 are we playing? Or are we playing 4-2-3-1? On Google, it's always just flat 4-3-3 unless it's something different. I think now with Casado on the field, it's back to 4-2-3-1. But it was 4-3-3 for the most of the match. It was Eric in the middle as a defensive midfield with Pablo Torres and Pedri playing as interiors. And then our front 3 were Ferran, Lewy, and Pau Victor. But now with but I think now they've switched to 4-2-3-1. That's yeah, no, 15 minutes is just not enough time. So yeah, I would take out Ferran and bring in Ansu. How about to play on the left? Man, there's only been 1 attack from the left for Barca. That's crazy. 6 attacks from the right, 7 from the middle, and 1 from the left. And I think the 1 from the left was the goal. Not the gamer says, I swear people start calling for Flick to get sacked, bro. It's one loss of the rotated team. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Like I've said, Barcelona fans are just fickle. One day they're, oh, this player is the best. The next day, this player is the worst. But, you know, it is what it is. You just got to ignore the negative voices. Basilisk says if Lewa didn't miss that chance, it could have been different. Well, of course. If we hadn't allowed 3 goals, it could have been different. If we had scored 4 goals, it could be different. You know? Francisco says I probably get some hate for this, but I dislike Balde. He can't cross the ball. Dude, Balde, are you kidding me? Balde is one of the best left backs in Europe. Nice. Ran out of space. Yeah, I would definitely bring in Ansu. I mean, I don't think we're gonna win this game. I don't even think we're gonna draw this game. Nice pass to Kunde. Oof. Wow. That was a great pass to Kunde. Man, Eric is just looking better and better in that defensive midfield position. Look at that pass that he just put for Kunde. Unfortunately, Kunde didn't know how to control it, but that was an incredible pass from Eric Garcia. Man, that penalty really, that Pique really just put the nail in the coffin. Oof. I think we still would have had a chance if this was 2-1, but those are the kind of mistakes, you know, players make when they're still young. They're still learning. But that's how they're going to learn. Just nothing, no way around it. You have to make the mistakes to learn from them. Fuck, here comes the 4th one. Ooh. Eddie Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Garcia is having one hell of a match. One hell of a match. Wow, look at that. Clean. Man. At the gamer says, Eric been cooking lately. Yes, he has. Eric has definitely been cooking lately. I always thought he was a really solid defender. He reminds me a little bit of Laporte. Where Laporte, when he was younger, you're like, I don't know. Seems like he's kind of promising, but then he does do some silly mistakes. And then Laporte, I don't know, once he hit his 23, 24 years old, he just became like this really solid defender. I feel like that's how Eric is kind of, where you can kind of see something in him, but then he would make some really gruesome mistakes. And like, I don't know what to think. And now I think we're starting to see a better Eric. I mean, last season was great for him with Girona. Not the gamer says the mentality monsters need to wake up, and not just because you're feeling bad, your performance shouldn't suffer. Just eat an ice cream. Yeah. I mean, look, even with this loss, I mean, we're still at the top of the La Liga, but more importantly, this was about to happen. Like, we were not going to go the season undefeated. Not with a brand new team, a brand new coach, not with so many young and inexperienced players, not with, you know, so many injuries. This was bound to happen. And I'd rather it happen now at the beginning of the season where we could still learn from it than happen later in, I don't know, the knockout stages of the Champions League. Right? We're not going to win every match that we play. We're not going to thrash. Oh, there we go. Ansu Fati's coming. Ah. Yeah, I think Ansu's going to come in for Ferran. Nah, it was not the defense. Barca says terrible defensive performance. It was not the defense. Osasuna were just way better on their quick transitions. There's nothing the defense could have done. You could have had Valde from the beginning. You could have had Inigo Martinez from the beginning. It's just Osasuna just did what they know how to do best. Sit back low, wait for Barcelona to advance all their lines, and then catch us with our pants down. That's what Osasuna always do, and that's what Osasuna did today. So it had nothing to do with the defense. It was just Osasuna know how to play counterattacks. Romain says, completely forgot you were doing a watch along. Ferran, for me, should not be on the field. He had one good touch all game. This team performance is not surprising, all things considered. Paulo says, Ansu hand trick incoming. I hope so. Let's see. Yeah, looks like Ansu Fati's coming in. Too long. See, those are the kind of runs that Raphinha is good at, running behind the defenders for long passes. That does not make him a 10. Someone was saying, oh, he's great because all his goals come from there, so he's great as a 10. DPK says, no chance against Bayern Madrid if we are vulnerable to this transition. Well, you also got to take into consideration that we only had half the team today against Osasuna. I mean, the only starters today were Pedri, Lewandowski, Pau, and Jules. Literally 4 players out of 11 were the starters. Iñaki's not a starter. Sergio Dominguez is a Barca Athletic player. Not only is he not a starter, he's a Barca Athletic player. Gerard Martin, Barca Athletic player. Eric Garcia, not a starter. Pablo Torre, not a starter. Ferran, not a starter. Pau Victor, not a starter. We only had 4 players who started today, so I don't know if you can compare this to. Oof. Jesus. Man, Osasuna still going at it. Jamie says, losing is part of the game. It's a long season. I agree, my friend. It's part of the game. Sometimes you're not going to always win. You're going to win. You're going to lose. You're going to draw. Sometimes you're going to play great. Sometimes you're going to play like crap. Sometimes you're going to win 5-0. Sometimes you're barely going to win. Sometimes you're going to play great and you're still going to lose or draw. And sometimes you're going to play like crap and you are going to win. You know, it's part of it. I don't know why people lose their mind when Barcelona loses. Like, I don't know. I mean, our parents not teaching their kids anymore that defeat is part of life. I don't know what's happening. But it's like every time it's the same story, right? Team loses, everybody just loses their shit. Like, end of the world. It's like, my friends, defeat is part of life. Not the Gamer says, Alex Baye got an assist in Celtics 6-0 win. Yeah, I saw that. Hopefully Alex Baye can improve and come back. Paulo says the league won't change. Our Madrid will lose tomorrow. Real Madrid will lose tomorrow anyway. I don't know, man. With how Real Madrid's matches have been going, where if you sneeze on a Madrid player, you get a penalty. They get a penalty kick, where they can make all kinds of fouls and they don't get sent off. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we'll see some controversial calls again. Fuck. Gerard Martin is hurt. Damn. Dude, that sucks. Fuck. So Sergio Dominguez just got hurt, asked for a substitution. So now Ansu's not going to come in anymore. Dude, Ansu has to have the worst luck in the world. Like, seriously. Oh, my God, that goal. Holy shit. Dude. What a bucket. Right in the corner. That was insane. Wow. That was insane. Right in the right corner. That was a crazy bucket. Wow, that was insane. Damn. Wow. That was really well shot. Well, I guess we won't break the record. Flick won't break the record for the best start to a season. Yeah, Flick. You know, we had won 7 out of 7. The best start in the history of the club was 8 out of 8. So I guess Flick won't be breaking the record of the most wins. Man, tough defeat. But season's still long. We're still at the top of the Liga. Even with the defeat. Now, I think what we need to do is just focus on the Champions League match on Tuesday. The good thing is we got rotations in. Lamine got some rest. Raphinha got some rest. Inigo, he had played every match. He needed rest. Balde needed rest. This guy's is Peña out. If you seriously think that this was Peña's fault, I recommend you watch a different sport. Well, man. Paulo says, also get that Polish keeper in. I don't know how to spell his name. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's like SCZCZZZZSCNS. But Stensny should sign contract on Monday. That's when he should arrive. But like I said, this has nothing to do with Iñaki Peña. You could have had Ter Stegen, Iñaki, and Stensny, all three of them on the goal, and they still wouldn't have been able to do anything. Mark says, you're saying they need rest. Okay, fine. What about when they need rest again? Then you rest them again. Is that a trick question? Like, what do you mean? When they need rest again, then you rest them again. That's how rotations work. Denzel says, at least we have a huge possession percentage. Well, does that really mean anything? TPK says, how about forfeit the match when players need rest? Not sure what you're trying to say. I mean, you're trying to imply that we shouldn't rest players? Francisco says, now that fans know we're going to lose, I see so much hate. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Fans are very fickle, like I said before. I mean, I don't know why you guys are expecting to just think we were going to win every match by 5-0 for the whole season. Like, I feel sometimes fans just live in cloud 9. And oof! Whoa, what a goal by Lamine. Jesus Christ. Wow. It was like he looked at the Osasuna player and said, okay, bro, I got this. I could do this too. Wow, what a bucket. Holy shit. I mean, it's still going to be a loss, but that was one hell of a bucket by Lamine. Wow. Jamie says, don't blame Flick. You had to make the rest. The players are humans too. I mean, here's the thing. Had we won this match, people would have been like, bravo, Flick, for resting players. But because we lost, it's like, Flick, what the fuck are you doing? How dare you rest players? Like I said, people just look for scapegoats. And it's like, no matter what happens or what you do, they're always going to blame you for something. Manuel says, what is the sense bringing the rested players in? You should start with your best player because they need rest, bro. How many fucking times I got to say that? They need to fucking rest. Jesus Christ, how difficult is it to understand that players need to rest? Not the gamer says, when Real Madrid's expected goal was 1,000 but didn't score until 90 plus 10 minutes penalty al favor de Real Madrid. Yeah. Francis says, what is Ferran doing in FC Barcelona? Let everyone play their wings. Yeah, Ferran, the problem is we just can't get rid of him, man. That's the problem. It's like Barcelona keep trying to offload him, and then he just keeps insisting on staying, and there's just nothing we could do, unfortunately. I mean, he should have never been signed. That would have been the better decision, but I guess hindsight, I don't know. I don't know what Lamine was thinking when he decided that Ferran would be a great addition to the team. Let's see. Man, that goal by Lamine, it was insane. Ooh. Oof. And of course, the goalkeeper's gonna just waste his time, lay on the floor. Yeah, so that was Lamine's response. The gamer says, Alemani stinker. By the way, what he doing nowadays? I thought he was going to Atleti, but did he? No, I don't think he did. They were saying he was going to Atleti, and then they said that he might run for president of the Royal Spanish Football Federation. I'm not sure what Alemani is doing right now. I know Laporta considered bringing him back for like very briefly last season, but I don't think Alemani is doing anything. Must be nice, right? To be like, all right, I'm just gonna take a year or two off, not have to worry about paying my bills. Francisco says Ferran going to let his contract expire and offer himself another 5 seasons just so she can stay. That'd be funny. Honestly says we lost this game. Yes, we did. Alhagi says, Olmo, we miss you. I mean, I miss all the injured players. DPK says rotation had to be compartmentalized like defense attack to maintain quality. Nobody complains if we lose 1-0, but this is something else. I mean, losses are part of the game, my friend. I don't know what to tell you. We need to rotate player, but we don't have depth. So this is what you end up being stuck with, right? Had we not had 8 injured players, we could have easily rotated Inigo and Kouarsi with Araujo and Christensen and been fine, right? We needed to, in the midfield, we could have easily rotated Casado and had Frankie play in his place. Maybe Gavi have play in his place, right? And Dani Olmo, right? That's three midfielders right there that you could easily have rotated with, but you know, we don't have depth because we have 8 injured players, and that doesn't mean you stop rotating. You still have to rotate. It sucks because you end up rotating with a lot of reserve team players, but you have to rotate. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to keep playing the 90 players so we can win against Osasuna, and then Lamine Yamal gets a torn ACL because he hasn't been rested all season, and now we're out of Lamine Yamal for a whole year? But it's okay, guys, we won against Osasuna. Like, come on, stop it. Sorry, my dog is barking. Najid says 13 fouls committed by Osasuna versus 3 by Barca. Hey, took him down to the ground. Yeah, 13 fouls to 3. You're right. That's crazy. Not the gamer says, besides Bake, Balde, and Dominguez, what other CBs do we have in the youth talent factory? I mean, Barca Athletic. That would be ready to play. I mean, maybe Mamadou and Bakin. That could, but either way, I mean, when you have Araujo, Christensen injured, then you have to rotate. Let's see. Chicken Tajin says, we can't afford to rotate. We're not like the other teams. We should have pushed through with Raphinha at least. So what? Just get all the players injured. Let's not rotate. Let's have all of our players play 90 minutes until they all tear their ACLs and they're all out for a whole year. That sounds like a solid plan. Paula's thing says, I think if we had Olmo and Araujo to rotate, we win the game. Maybe. And the team is just not giving up. which is what I like to see. I mean, we're not going to score 2 goals or 3 in 30 seconds, but Jamie says Yamal just got pushed, but I think is a penalty to Real Madrid. I think it looked like they were both holding each other, and then Lamine kind of just lets himself fall. Damn. Look at that. Soccer Sense says, okay, I'm going to block this guy who just doesn't know how to, who just keeps spamming. There we go. Soccer Sense says, Flick, you cannot do this again. How, my friend, this club is bigger than what you think. To what? Rotate players? He has to rotate players. We're playing a game every 2-3 matches. Let's see. Francisco says, guys, it's fine. It's only the beginning of the season. Yeah, I don't know why people are freaking out. I mean, we had a loss. It happens. All right. Well, that's it, guys. 4-2. Well, 4-2. Goals by Budimir. 2 goals by Budimir, Zaragoza, and Bretones. 2 Pau Victor and Lamine Yamal. 75% possession to Barcelona to the 25 of Osasuna. Only 1 chance, big chance created for Barcelona. That's crazy. To Osasuna's 3. 12 shots for each. With Osasuna's goalkeeper saving 5, Iñaki only saving 1. 13 to 3 fouls. 673 passes of Barcelona to 215. That's crazy, man. Crazy. 3 times the passes, but half the goals. Wow. Well, first defeat of the season, ladies and gentlemen. It was bound to happen. It happened today against a tough opponent in a tough stadium. Osasuna knew what to do. They stayed low. They defended, and then they counted on those counterattacks, which is what they always do and what they know how to do really well. And then, unfortunately, it worked for them. It didn't work for us. It happens, but losing is part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. It sucks because I would have wanted to see Flick break the record of 8 wins in the first 8 matches. It didn't happen. He had 7 out of 7 for the start, but we're still at the top of La Liga, even with this defeat. As you know, Barcelona are ahead of Real Madrid by 4 points. So even if Madrid win tomorrow, Barcelona will still be ahead by 1 point. Tough defeat, but we have the Champions League on Tuesday, so we're going to have to focus on that. At least we got some players rested. So hopefully we can bounce back in the Champions League, because remember, right now we have 0 points in the Champions League. So we definitely need the win against Young Boys. And that's it. I am going to do the post-match live analysis in about an hour. I'm going to go take a break, grab something to eat, something to drink, maybe use the bathroom. And then around 6 p.m., I'll do the post-match live analysis. We'll analyze the match with a little bit more depth. Hope you guys like the first Barca News watch along. If you guys want me to keep doing it, I will keep doing it. Probably not during the weekdays because I do work. So like Tuesday against Young Boys, I'm not gonna be able to do it because I'll be at work. But La Liga matches on the weekend, I'll be more than happy to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I had a good time watching the game with you guys, even though if it was a loss. It was really cool to share this with you versus just being sitting on the couch by myself. And then let's end this. And I will see you guys in about an hour in a post-match live analysis. Thank you again for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in about an hour. And then, of course, later tonight, we'll do news videos. All right. Tough defeat, but as always, these guys.